Hey, yo, welcome back to Check Game, man. I'm here with your boy, Alvin Williams.
I'm here with your boy, Fatz.
And today we got a special guest. We got North Philly's own. I mean, he one of my main men. Crossover, left to right, right to left. He'll dunk it on you. Made it to the pros, out of mansion. He my man. So I got to, I'm a little excited because he my man like that. Further ado or less, to introduce to our audience, my man, Ron Flip Murray, man. Let's give a shout out to Ronald Flip Murray.
Appreciate I mean,
This is crazy.
what's my guys? How fast? What's up?
What's up, Flip?
Hey, Flip, this is crazy. You know why it's crazy, dog? Because we done had 11 episodes. This is our 11th one. This boy ain't never been so hype in my life, dog. he hype. We talk, you got to bring your personality out. You know what I mean? Don't be so cool. Now you here now. My main man, Flip from North Philly, all that. I got you. I know how y'all get down. Welcome, Flip. Good seeing you, youngin.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, so we just wanted to kind of start off, Flip. We know Philly is your hometown. You rep North Philly. I met you probably 8th, 9th grade, but you was in Mansion doing your thing. We're just happy to have you here on the spot, to talk about checking game and give a little bit of insight on what's going on with you and how the basketball flight take off with you, because you're from down in that Mansion area, in a tough little area. How you get it together and start getting your game tight like that? Like what was that like getting it together for you as a young boy?
Well, you got to start when I started playing ball, young ball. I started off across town. I just lived across town with the elementary school in Hartranft for 8th Cumberland. And I finally started really pick up the basketball, played in the 10 and under league starting over there. I think I was I'm lying. There was a 12 and under league. I started playing with them when I was 10 at the time. So that's when I really started playing basketball. I really had a love for basketball. But at the time, at 10, I'm not even gonna lie, I was ass. I wasn't, playing nowhere near where Vinny, that's where Vinny, was playing. I came up to Vinny, Day and all of them was over there playing at the time, and I was younger than them. And at the time, they were the ones over there in Crosstown who really had the names as far as game in my era and in my age group. But I was really trash at the time. I wasn't playing. I wasn't good like that. And then once I started taking it serious around 12, 11, I started starting to get the concept of the game, understanding the game, starting to develop my game and starting to come into my game. And people starting to take recognition of my game from there on. And then once college and high school and all that stuff coming on, I just stayed steady with it, start playing against different competition from around the city. And once I started traveling, playing with Power League and stuff like that, started playing against international different people ranked in the country and stuff like that, then I had a chance to start really seeing where my game was at and where my game sit at as I was playing against other people.
What you got, Al?
He say that, so that's 8th and Cumberland. He said 12 and under. So I always tell Fatz, I don't know if I told you this, Flip, but the first time I saw you, I was Logan, Jay Lawson. We was at Villanova. I was a sophomore, I think. And Sports Illustrated did a big joint of all the top big men in the country. And they had Jay Lawson. He had a dope joint jumping off the Art Museum step. And they followed him down Logan. And I was there with him, just tagging along. And you was in the gym. And I'm in the gym watching them. They had the pal or whatever gym around that Logan there. I don't know.
I remember I got the picture and everything. Only Pop.
Hey, dog. And I'm watching, he doing an interview, but I'm watching some young boys play. And I remember this young boy. This is the vision I got. Black jacket, black jeans, black Timbs, and playing roughhouse. And this youngin just dominate. I'm like, yo, so we leave. So I said, yo, Jay, who the young boy that was playing the roughhouse? He said, oh, that's Flip. I guess he knew your sister or so around that way. And yeah, and I was like, hey, yo, I don't know how old you was. You might have been 14, 13. I don't know what you was, but I was like, young and tough. And then fast forward, I had my youngin' Ryan Presson. And they used to be up Mount Airy talking about this dude Flip and this dude Buzzy down 33rd and Diamond or some shit. And I'm like, and they said they got these songs and these boys this and that. And I'm like, yeah, yo. So it all came back to me. And then, fast forward and all that. So we get into all that. But that's the first time I ran into you, man. So I always had an eye. And I was like, yo, young and tough, dog. And then Jay Lawson was the first person that told me about you and showed me who you was, dog.
Hey, Flip. So let's get to how you get the mansion, man. How that pop off? Because we need to know what happened if how you get the mansion.
All right, like I said earlier when I broke it down, I went to elementary school at Hartran. I ended up getting kicked out of Hartran for my 5th grade year. Got into a little scuffle, got kicked out in Hartran for my 5th grade year. My parents, my mom parents was from Ephraim, Cumberland. That's how I got down that side. She's from there. I mean, my grandparents were from there, Ephraim, Cumberland. My mom lived in Logan. So that's how I got part of Logan coming up. And my step pops out of the family, they all from Strawberry Mansion, 30th and Page. That's how I got that's how I got everything involved. So how I got the mansion was Sad and my brother is real close. They real close. It was close at the time. It was real tight. And at the time, Sad had a 14 and under 14U team at 33rd and Diamond. My brother came to me and told me that he wanted me to go play with them and play on their team. So once I played with 30 for Norris, then 33rd and Diamond, that's when I started getting recognition from everybody that was from the Strawberry Mansion area. And at the time, Big Mark Sterling, Andy Reid, who was actually like assistant coach at Strawberry Mansion, he was doing a lot of scouting for like Strawberry Mansion and stuff like that. He seen me actually play in that league. I had a conversation with me and my brother, and my parents and stuff, and told them that they wanted me to transfer and go to come to Mansion because I went to Germantown my freshman year. Germantown was once I got kicked out of Hartran, I went to Logan Elementary School up there, and when my mom stayed there, then the middle school that they sent it to was Roosevelt. So after I graduated Roosevelt, the high school they sent it to was Germantown. So I went to Germantown my freshman year. I played in that summer league after my freshman year. I transferred to Strawberry Mansion like October and started playing with them my 10th grade year.
So you didn't get the Mansion until 10th grade?
Right. I didn't play ball my freshman year.
So at Mansion, is you with the crossover already, or you work like what's because I'm hearing you and Buzz. I'm from Diamond and Buzz from my neighborhood, so I'm already getting Buzz with the jerk. But at some point, me at Gratz, I'm hearing y'all niggas got this crossover shit. When did all this crossover Flip Murray shit come out? What happened with that?
I'm gonna say once we started really getting our time in Mansion. My first year, my sophomore year, we didn't play that much. We had seniors that was on our team at the time, and they had to get their minutes and stuff like that because they've been there for the 4 years. This was their last year, so we understood that being a sophomore that we wasn't gonna get a lot of time, but we did have our games like in practice. We used to make practice tough for them. We used to go at them in practice, stuff like that, and make stuff work like that. Then my junior year, that's when I started, and we started getting a lot of recognition around the city as far as being like one of the best backcourts in the public league. The songs and all that stuff that come from the fans. That's come from the fans, stuff like that. They come up with all that. Shout out to my man Nate Price. I'm gonna go and say he was the ringleader of everything. To start all that, the flipping Buzzy chants and Buzzy, the best 2 toughest guards in the city and all that stuff. And once rumors started going around, we started getting a little recognition, and people started to take notice of who we were.
What you got, Al?
Who was so what's that? Your graduating year was 97, Flip?
I'm class of 97.
So who was that like coming out of the city at that time? Because I'm an old head dog, so I'm still trying to figure out.
Tough Marvel, Connor, Jared Karras, Lynn Greer. Trying to see who else was tough at the time when we was playing that came out 97. Mind you, I missed the first half of my senior year for our academic eligibility. So a lot of guys I really didn't know because I didn't get a chance to really play against them my senior year. So we played against a lot of guys that was tough, but I wasn't there in attendance because I wasn't eligible to play at the beginning of the season. It's a lot of guys that I'm probably forgetting, but those are like the top names. Class of 97, Vic Thomas and guys like that. Fowler brothers, they was all over at Newman. We played against them, so we had a lot of people. I'm forgetting a lot of people. Trust me.
Well, I'm gonna ask something real quick. I got my cousin on this drink. What was this dude's scouting report? What was Fat's scouting report that you? Because he tell me this and that. He beat me in 1-on-1 years later when I was all crippled and all that shit. What was his scouting report?
Slasher for sure. Get to the rack, finish the hoop. Hard-nosed defender. Somebody brought the energy to the game. He definitely brought the energy to the game. Pick you up defensively. Knock down a wide open shot. He was definitely
get the fuck out. See, there you go.
That's right.
There you go.
North side.
Hey, Flip, he ain't making no wide open jump shots.
North side, dog.
You know.
Yeah.
You're knocking down that corner. You're knocking it down that corner for sure.
Okay. Okay.
so
Okay.
so Flip, let's get into you getting to Shaw. How, did you go somewhere before? Was you at community? What'd you do before Shaw? You had a little couple mix before you got to Shaw, right?
Leaving Strawberry Mansion. Actually had an offer to go to UMass.
Mm-hmm.
Was going to attend UMass. Didn't get my ACT score. Needed I think a 720.
Was Bruiser there? Was Bruiser the coach there?
This was Canby last year. With D and all of them was there. This was their last year. Actually had an offer to go there, and I actually was going to commit to go there, but didn't get my test score, so I had to go a junior college route. I went to I visited 2 junior colleges. One was in Oklahoma. I think it was called Coon or something. I forget what it was called. Then I visited Meridian, that was in Mississippi. Meridian was more like a city base. I really didn't need a car. Everything was around there where I was at. So it was more fit for me to go down there and play there and more suitable for me. So I played 2 years there at Meridian, came back. My mom had got laid off. I came back to Philadelphia and ended up getting a job. So I had a telemarketing job all the way up Springfield somewhere and was working out there. But the time while I was here, I also took classes at community to get some credits up that I had missed as far as me not being able to go to school. So I attended community college, then played there, just took some classes and stuff there, stayed here and worked. Was in the gym hooping. But the head coach of Shaw at the time was Joe Hopkins, actually came to see Jared at the time. Jared was in the gym. We was all in the gym at the same time hooping. And they actually came up there to recruit Jared. But we was all in the same gym balling at the same time. So after we got finished hooping, he pulled me to the side and I'm gonna be honest with you, he told me straight from the gate, he said, I don't know who you are. He said, I just got finished watching you play, but I'm telling you right now that you're a pro. He said, I will be having a head coach job at Shaw University. He said, if you come to Shaw University, listen to what I tell you to do in 2 years, I guarantee you I can get you the NBA.
Hey. That's gangster.
I saw your interview, and shout out to the youngins. I don't know them, but it seemed like they was big fans of yours. The Winners Win podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at that. Yeah, that was a dope interview. They did a real good job, so shout out to them. And I heard that story. But you said you was back here at community and you was working. What was you doing when you was working?
I had a telemarketing job. I was selling the show.
So what your mindset? Ball player, chasing a dream. Like what was your mindset then? Like I'm working, I'm trying to hoop. Like how I'm navigating through this young stage of my life? How am I navigating that whole process?
I didn't have hooping in my agenda at all. I was working at the time. Hooping, me thinking about going to play ball and all that stuff was dead. I played junior college. I didn't go nowhere. At the time when I was working, I was cool where I was working at. I was working a telemarketing job. I was bringing home like $2,000 2 weeks. So at the time, that was good money for me. I'm saying me making a little couple of hours working. I used to go up there work from 9 to 9. I used to do 12-hour shifts, work from 9 to 9. And at the time, basketball wasn't me thinking about going pro at the time, wasn't even nowhere in my sight at the time. It didn't come to vision until he said that what he said out of his mouth. The first time somebody ever told me that out my mouth that that somebody looked at my game was like, you're a pro. So once he said that, and I did the background on him and found out who he was, where he coached at. He coached at Mount Zion. He had Tracy McGrady and stuff like that. He coached Mari Stoudemire and all them guys. He got all them guys into the league. So once he told me that, once I figured out that, and he told me that, it was a wrap. So I had no chance. Once he said that, I was gone. I left without like a week and a half. Once he said that, I left. I went down there. I stayed down there and I just started working out. And I was down there working out.
From my recollections, you got some outstanding numbers down there. If you want to throw those out, if you just want to gently throw the amount of points that you averaged down there in your 2 seasons of Shaw, I think you broke a scoring record or something down there.
No, I didn't break a scoring record. I didn't average that much. I averaged my first year, I think I averaged 22. And the second year, I think I averaged like 23, 7 and 7, something like that. My second year, my numbers wasn't all crazy like that. I mean, it was good numbers, but it wasn't, like league lead numbers or the country league numbers or anything like that. But I was able to, get recognition and get Player of the Year my last year at Shaw University for the whole Division II.
So so real quick, Fatz and Flip too, because you just said that ball wasn't in your mindset. You was working, so you obviously proved that you're telling the truth with that. Because for a person to say my numbers wasn't all crazy like that, averaging 23 in college. A lot of cats ain't averaging those numbers, dog. Like, I don't care. I don't care where you at. I don't care what you like 17, 18. Then you had some people might like explode for 20, 23 and 22. They real good numbers averaging in college, dog. I mean,
Yes,
just to
for
give
that,
you
but
that, dog.
when you think of numbers, I mean, you think about standout number, you think about 30 plus, somebody that's really like standing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you like, yeah, but
College, that
it was
yeah, if you ain't you got the system, you got
right.
zones, you got all the type of defenses. They doing boxing ones. Like, yeah, you putting work in, no doubt, dog. So I could tell.
Hey, yo, so was you at the end of the season? Was you and coach plan to put you in the draft? Was that part of the whole thing? And like you worked out with a few NBA teams, and then you wound up having like some teams say, "Flip, we possibly going to draft you." What was that process like?
Same year, he lined it up where though I had a lot of scouts at my game. They probably a lot of games here and there. He was already intact with the NBA. He already had connections with the NBA, so he had certain scouts, certain teams come out to check me out. I know when we played in the Final Four for the championship for Division II, I know for sure Detroit was out there scouting me at the time, and so it was a couple people that used to come and check me out. So after the season was over, he told me from the gate, "We're gonna go get an agent." That was the first thing we went to go do, get an agent. And at the time, like I said, Tracy McGrady had played underneath him at Mount Zion, so he had connections with Aaron Tellum at the time, because Aaron Tellum was Tracy McGrady agent at the time. Aaron Tellum was one of the big agents in the NBA at the time. So I signed.
Did you know Aaron was from here?
No, I didn't know that.
He from this lower. I don't know if he went to Lower Marion. He from here. He from up this Kobe. Like Aaron Tellum was from our area. Yup.
I didn't know that. Once we signed with Aaron Tellum, I left Shaw, like, after the season was over, I left Shaw a week and a half. I left Shaw, I stopped going to school. I moved out to California where he was located at, Aaron, and I started working out with them. All the clients that he had underneath him, we was all out there together. We was staying out there, put me up in a hotel. We started working out. I was out there for about 2 months, month and a half prior to the draft, just working out, playing against all the so-called names that was supposed to be high drafted, the lottery picks and stuff like that. I had a chance to really get a chance to go at them and see what their game was like and play against them. Once that was over, the season was over, I went out there and started working out with them, and I was out there until the draft started. Until I started doing pre-draft workouts and stuff like that.
So you
Fast, you going real fast, though. I got a lot of questions because
go ahead, man.
God damn, I got the
Yes,
younger,
I'm
but
here.
I always reflect back, and one thing I always wanted to try to find a way to always try to give back information, share information, but a lot of us got the same story, Fats. We got the same story, playing ball, coming out of the city and shit like that. But in college, what was some of the challenges? Like you going to, is this the first time you're away from home or for the extensive amount of time? Or, like what's your mind frame? Is you committed the ball, you playing ball, you got somebody that made a promise to you. What you thinking as a young man in this situation?
So, once he told me that information, my only thing I was thinking about then was me getting to the league after that. So once we came down here, immediately I was in zone. As far as working out every day, competing every day, going down there playing against a lot of the top players that were playing Division I basketball down there in these summer leagues, they pro-am leagues down there. I was playing against all the top Division I players, all the Duke players, all the North Carolina players, NC State players, North Carolina A&T, all the schools that was in our area right there. I'm playing against all these guys now that I see on TV and stuff like that, and I'm going at them. So now it's getting in my head. Oh, all right, if I can go at these guys right here, and these guys are the ones that's being, recognized as top players in the country and stuff like that, then I might have a chance where though I have a opportunity to make it to the NBA.
Sure.
But yeah, the mind focus though was straight work.
The mindset is the biggest thing, dog. That's
Work.
that's it.
I could really say I zoned out. I zoned out. I stopped a lot of my bad habits when the season started, just to start focusing on basketball and just focus on basketball. I constantly worked out. I started hitting the weight room heavy. I never used to fuck with weights. I started hitting the weight room heavy. And honestly, I think when I started hitting the weight room, that's what elevated my game and took my game to the next level.
Weight room
Because I started to feel stronger. Once I started getting to the hole, now I start feeling contact. Now it was easier for me to finish, get in one, stuff like that. Wasn't losing the ball a lot off little tic-tac fouls and stuff like that. I just started to feel stronger, so I started to feel more confident. And once I started doing that, and playing against these guys and starting to really show that I could score against these guys. And, scoring was always my thing. I always thought I could score the basketball. I wasn't no real defender, no assist player. My thing was I can go score the basket. I don't need no screen. Just give me the ball. I can go score the basket. So once I start realizing I can still score at a high level, playing against this high level competition, it was a no-brainer for me that my mindset was that I'm going to try to make it to the NBA.
In fact.
How does this draft go? When the Sonics is that a phone call early or is that just
Milwaukee, baby?
Milwaukee.
You got drafted by Milwaukee? I didn't know that. I thought it was the Sonics that drafted you.
No, but real quick, Flip, what were some of the dudes? What were some of the NBA guys and guys you looked up to? Like, did you model your game after anybody? Like you said, you was a scorer and all that. Who were some of the dudes you looked up to?
I'm not going to say I model my game at them, but my favorite player since I was a young boy was Clyde Drexler. That was the reason why I always wore 22. Clyde Drexler was my favorite player. When I was coming up young boy, everybody was Jordan fans, Jordan this, Jordan that. And I never try to follow nobody and be like other people. I always stepped off and been different. So that alone just made me look at other people's games, stuff like that. Then I padded my layup and my finger roll at the Clyde Drexler. I can say that. I like to let away to take off with the one leg. That's why I was a one leg jumper when I dunked the basketball. I did patent that part of my game from him. But Clyde Drexler was my favorite player.
You ain't patting your handle after. Clyde was dribbling.
No. No, his handle was
ass. So you said it was the Bucks that drafted you, not the Sonics.
Yes.
Was that a phone call? How was that interaction? What was that like?
Actually, prior to the draft, I ended up working out for 17 teams. I think I worked out for 17 teams.
Man. Yo, for the audience, explain that process, though. That's a lot of teams. You know how many teams I worked out for?
How many? 3?
And I was the crash test dummy. They brought me in to play against other people. I ain't. But explain to people that process. 17 teams, dog. That's a hell of a lot of teams.
You got to think about the process. I'm trying to think. The draft is in third week of June, around like June 20th or 21st, somewhere around that area. So I think workout started probably like the middle of May. They started inviting people out, come out to workouts for our team workouts and stuff like that to go try out and audition for teams. And they was coming fast. A lot of people didn't know how I was. There was a buzz going out about me. I went to Portsmouth camp first. I had a terrible Portsmouth camp. Didn't really get the ball like that. Didn't really get a chance to showcase my game like that. So Portsmouth really didn't get a lot of recognition for me. But after Portsmouth, I was invited to Chicago pre-draft in Chicago. Chicago pre-draft, I really had a real good camp there. I played well. I felt as though I was able to, showcase my talent at a higher level with all the GMs, all the teams, everybody was there. That started giving me a recognition, the name was like who this kid was. Nobody really knew who I was. I was Division II kid, so nobody really knew who I was. Everybody was focused on like the Division I player and stuff like that. And so my agent told me, he said, you're going to get a lot of workouts. So as they was coming, they was lining them up for different teams. They was coming like every 2-3 days. I'll go to one team, work out with them, chill for another 2 or 3 days. He'll call me up. You got to get on the flight. We booking your flight. You got to go work out for this team and so on and so on. And I actually had to work out all the way until the last day of the draft. Came back from doing my last workout. I think it was actually here in Philly. My last workout was here. Worked out. My agent called me. He said, San Antonio, I want you to come and do one more workout before you go. They thinking about taking you at 29. They had the 29th pick in the draft that year. So I said, all right, I'm cool. I got on the flight, went out there and worked out. And coming back from us, the word was that they was going to take me at that 29th pick. That's what they was telling that's what my agent was telling me and stuff like that they was going to take me. They ended up taking my man. They ended up taking John Simon, another Philly guy. They ended up taking John Simon at the time. So that went out the door. So he said, stay with it. We still have a possibility. You're not going to go first round, but you still might have a possibility to go second round. So we stayed focused and I just waited. I had a lot of people over at the house, family, friends, everybody was at the house. We were just anticipating, waiting for my name to get called. And then when my name get called, it didn't even happen on the big screen. It happened like after commercial. So a commercial was on. Then after commercial came back and you see Barkley, he announced it. He said, while we was away on commercial break at the 42 pick, Milwaukee Bucks drafted Ronald Murray. So At the time when I was in the house, all the family, everybody, we seen the pick and stuff like that. We went crazy. Everybody giving me my congratulations and stuff like that. Did a couple interviews with the news. They was there at the house at the time. It was anticipated for me to go 29th pick, but once that didn't happen, Milwaukee ended up taking me at 42. And I think that have a real big reason with Tim Gergovich, who was a scout at the time with Milwaukee. That's who I was out working with. Tim Gergovich was a real big fan of my game. When I first went out there to start working out in Santa Monica, he was the one who was conducting the workouts and stuff like that. He told me from the beginning, he said, you're a great scorer. He said, you're a great scorer. He said, but you have the ability to be a great lockdown defender. He said, you remind me of Gary Payton, the way you shape, how you move and stuff like that. He said, you have a very strong capability of being a good defender as well. He said, if you get that in your head and focus on that as well, I think it's going to take you a long way in this league. And that stuck with me for a while. Hearing words coming from him. He being a veteran with the NBA and stuff like that, him having the knowledge of the NBA and him really talking to me like that and let me know that a guy that was a Division II guy, they were all Division I and, lottery draft picks and stuff like that. For him to reach out and tell me that, it stuck with me and it meant a lot to me.
How ironic was it that you ended up getting traded to Seattle with that? You was in that Gary Payton deal, right? Ray, Gary Payton go to Milwaukee. And Gergs is Seattle. Gergs is the man. I remember Gergs. We was playing. I think he was with Seattle at the time when I got into the league, and he's like, "Hey, I really like your game." I was a second round pick, 48th pick, and he tells me, "I think you're gonna be the first player out of your draft to win a championship." I never won a championship, but he said, I think you can lead your team, be a leader of your team to a championship. So Gerg's always, his camps and all that out in Vegas. And I was just talking to somebody the other day about Gerg's and his camp, like Fatz, his camps and what he does is legendary, dog. Like he really bring the purity and the authenticity into basketball again with all of the NBA politics. Gerg. So if you get a stamp from him, you belong, man. So that helps you out a lot, man.
And shout out to Tim Gergovich, man. That was my OJ.
So now you're in the pros, right? And I know Al wanted a scouting report on me, but apparently once you made pro, you got to the Sonics. Apparently you put that Krilla crossover down on Al one of those games. I don't know I don't know which game it was, but over recollection, you got any recollection of playing against Al?
Yes.
Did you tighten him up? Just so that's just, you know what I mean? I just I got both of y'all here. You know what I mean?
I think when I played against Al, I don't think that at the time. But when I was in Seattle, the little stretch I had with Seattle, that was the beginning of the season. Ray Allen was hurt, so I was the next guard up. Well, it was a couple guards that had to fight for that position, but I was the guard that ended up winning that position. So I ended up starting like the first 20 games. I don't think we played them. Once we played them, I was back to off the bench rotation. I wasn't getting started like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wasn't in a rotation heavy like that. When Ray was out, I was playing like 38, 39 minutes a game. When he came back, I went to playing 15, 12 minutes. So you know how that go.
Since Fat's trying to start shit, I was asking for a scouting report. I wasn't asking for a play-by-play one-on-one. But I will tell you this, Flip. You pretty much ended my career, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. We played y'all, and Ray wasn't playing, so you was getting minutes. Ray wasn't. I don't think Ray was playing. We was playing y'all before the All-Star break, and I remember I think it was All-Star break. You was in Seattle, and y'all had Reggie Evans because I remember flying back home, and Reggie Evans was on my flight, and you caught me on the baseline, dog. You crossed the bullshit out of me, dog. Hey, dog, and reversed it. Like you did a reverse layup. I never forget, though. I said, God, it was one of them joints where a nigga make a move. And I said, damn, all in the middle of the joint, and you reversed it. And I remember on a plane, I was like, damn, that young boy really got me crazy. And right after the All-Star break, I remember going to GFS because during the All-Star break, I used to come home and work out. And I couldn't move my leg, dog. My leg was all mangled. And I'm like, damn. So we played Atlanta the first game after the All-Star break, and my knee my cartilage and all that. But I never really truly, and I'm not saying it's that move. I won't give you all that props. But I remember that game though. But I remember that time. And I remember being back home. And Philly, man. And the one thing we privileged to is to be in that game and understand the politics of it. And I just remember like you was buzzing. You was killing, dog. You was doing what you was doing, but it was Ray Allen.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, yo, Ray Allen gonna get traded. Right? I said, that's Ray Allen. That's Jesus Shuttlesworth. Like, we're not, and the one thing, young fella just gotta stay the course. Ray will come back, but he earned his stripes. The NBA know who he is, dog. So I mean, you got the opportunity, you made the most out of that, dog. But that's the moment Fatz talking, because I didn't told him everything about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He
Nah,
told me you
but
shook him up and shit.
yeah, no, he fucked me up. He fucked me up real good.
So Flip, anybody on those in your stretch at the beginning of your career, you want to talk about who some players you gave gas to, or somebody that kind of went to work? Some shout outs to anybody in the start of your career, or even somebody that may have helped you from the Sonics.
Well, it started in Milwaukee. Honestly, I had a group of some thorough OG veterans while I was in Milwaukee, and started from Irvin Johnson. Shout out to my man, rest in peace, Anthony Mason. I had Tim Thomas was over there, Ray Allen, Kevin Alley, had Sam Cassell. I had Jason Caffey, my OJ. Those guys installed to me what being a professional will be like my rookie year, even though I wasn't playing, especially Irvin Johnson. Irvin Johnson was like the ringleader of that, installing to the young guys how to be professional, how to handle yourself, how to conduct yourself in this league, understanding the business side of the league, not just basketball. So he installed that in me early, my rookie year when I wasn't playing, understanding the business of the game, understanding that it's going to be opportunities for me to play. Just always be ready. You don't know when your name is going to be called. You don't know when your number is going to be called, but always be ready. Stay in the gym and always be ready. So that was something that also stuck with me in my rookie year. Even though I wasn't playing, I used to always evaluate and watch the games from the sideline and, try to break the game down to the simplest form just by me watching it, understanding the speed of the game, the pace of the game, stuff like that. After getting traded, playing in Seattle, I played summer league, had a great summer league, was averaging like 35, 30 in summer league, came back, and like I said,
you say that like it's light.
Shit crazy.
No.
Now see why you say 23 was light in college. You talking about 30. Now stand corrected.
Real shit, I took that summer league shit real personal, bro. I took that shit personal. Because there was a lot of former guys that was already playing. Used to be out there talking crazy. Guys like Earl Watson and stuff like that. Used to be out there talking crazy when he was in Memphis. Gave him 40. He was talking all crazy before the game. I mean, stuff like that. So I just take some of these real personal because, like I said, it was like me playing in the NBA, but that was like my team. You know what I mean? Because I'm like one of the head rookies. I mean, so that's like my team. I feel like the star on that team. So, I played my games to the fullest. So after playing then having a chance to start when Ray got out and really understanding the game and really didn't have to keep looking over my back when I make a mistake, saying if I'm gonna get pulled out of the game, I could just play my game. I ain't had to rush shit or nothing like that. Just play the game. That really allowed me to really showcase my game and really show them that I could really be out here. If the time is given to me, I can go out here and be one of the best players out here on the court as well.
What you telling from Irvin Johnson to Jason McCaffrey and all these guys, you're vets. You a vet on that team, and a young Flip Murray's coming in. What you telling a young Flip Murray? What you telling them from everything you learned and you be in that position? What would you tell yourself?
I would have to give them the same advice. Just always work on your craft, work on your game. Stay in tune to everything that's going on with your team. Stay in tune with your coaches. Go visit your coaches. Go in there, holler at your coaches, talk to your coaches. Ask them what it is that you can do to improve, what it is that you can do if you're not getting minutes, what it is that you can do to get on the floor. This is stuff that I didn't do, that I didn't learn how to do, but I learned as far as me going on toward my career, starting getting deep into my career. Stuff like that, simple things like that. Let the team know that you're really want to be there and you really trying to get better and you really want to make this team better. Stay in the gym, even when they're not looking, get in the gym and just work on your game, and also understand that there's going to be ups and downs when you're not the start player. There's going to be ups and downs in the league. There's going to be times when the team wants to play. There's going to be times when they don't want to play. They want to go in a different direction. Don't lose focus. Don't get upset. Always be a great teammate. Always cheer your teammates on the sideline, et cetera, et cetera. Just how to be a professional. That's all.
It's so hard too when you're trying to establish yourself and you team, but you're trying to you absorb with your progression and your professional side. Like you want to get the playing time, you want to get the contracts, you want to get the notary, you want to fulfill everything that you know what I mean that you aspire to do this whole time. I'll ask you a question too. When your name got called for the Milwaukee Bucks 42nd pick. Did you realize at that moment that your life will never be the same again? Did you
No,
understand? So I always talk about young, like, do you realize that? Because people don't really grasp that concept. One day your life has changed and never return. Did you realize that?
be honest with you, Al, I was just happy to hear my name called, bro. I was never starstruck on the fact of going to the NBA. At the end of the day, I look at them as these guys just play basketball as I do as well. They're just getting paid good money. So I never was starstruck at the fact of me going and playing in the NBA. I was more anticipated and excited as far as going to the NBA just to get a chance to play against some of the top level people in the league. But the confidence, that was always there. That got installed in me, playing back home. You get all that confidence installed in you from playing back summer leagues, growing up and playing AAU and stuff like that, playing these competitions in Philadelphia, because in Philadelphia, you know how everybody is in Philadelphia. If you ain't bringing your game in Philadelphia, they on your ass about it. And that right there installed in me when I was young, and it carried on with me as I became a pro.
Yeah.
Well, what I wanted to mention, or mention between both of y'all, because similar situations, y'all both got drafted late, had to sit the bench and wait y'all turn. But I like that you hit on, Flip, that kids got to understand about, like, hey, coach, what can I bring to the team? If I'm not getting in the game, what I need to work on? Do I need to work on my defensive slides? Do I need to work on passing the ball better? That communication, I think you sharing that with our audience, will let a child know it's okay to go up to a coach and ask, what do I need to specifically do to get on? What's my job? How can I do my job? And both of y'all being in that situation, getting drafted late and then getting to a team and then doing your job. I'm glad you touched on that. If y'all want to speak on that from both sides,
Because that's what it takes. I mean, honestly, that's what it takes. Once you're there, it's about you getting better each and every day, and you have an opportunity to really go out and for a living and play the game that you love to do, something that you love to do, and you're actually getting paid and you're living off that. The time that I had being there, I enjoyed every minute of it. Even the times when I wasn't playing, I still enjoyed the fact of me still being around the team and being around the NBA family and stuff like that. So it was big for me.
what's that like with you, Al?
No, the challenge is you go over to the NBA, man, and nobody really talk to you. Like, you hear a coach talking about you should be worried about when I stop talking to you. So the communication level is not there. So you got to be confident and you got to be secure enough to say, go up there and be like, yo, what do I need to do? Or because you used to getting feedback. Yo, you playing good, or you not playing good, whatever the case may be. But again, it's so many ups and downs that you got to be mature enough and mentally. I went to school for 4 years at Nova, so I was recruited over. I remember Villanova bringing Stephon Marbury in. I had to wait my turn. I got benched. I was promised things. Then had to. So I got a lot of experience and not having no expectations. But I was a little more mature going into the league at 22. But that's the hard part, because you can be there, dog. You could, like I said, bust ass while Ray is out, and then as soon as Ray come back, they ain't go to 15 minutes a game. You kidding me? He was one of the hottest things in the league at the time, dog. At that time, but then you got to be able to be mature enough to say, all right, let me fall back and get back in my position. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot, man. It's not an easy road, and that's why a lot of people, when they talking about this kid is a pro, no, it's not just playing ball. It's a lot of other things involved in the NBA that's going to make you a pro. That's going to challenge you every day. So that's why hats off to you, Flip, to be in the NBA as long as you play in the NBA and as many teams as you played, and then do the work that you did everywhere you went.
Yeah.
A lot of people fold. A lot of people fold and can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, real respect, much respect on your path, because us Philadelphians, I'm sure Al being in the NBA, he probably got a closer eye on you, like I'm watching through the news, but we all rooting for you. And we see that every team you do go to, you putting your thing down. Like, given the opportunity, you putting your motherfucking thing down. You know what I mean? Even all the way up to when you had that stint with the Cavs and y'all made, I don't know if y'all went to the championship, but I know you and LeBron had a good run and you played your ass off. I remember watching you hit some fucking jump shots, and you might have dunked on somebody in that series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we ended up. We made it to this. We lost in the second round in Detroit that year when I was with the Cavs. And then the crazy thing about it is,
this guy Fatz always want to balloon. Fuck it, this boy that had you in the
the
championship. No, LeBron ain't got no championship till he went to.
No, he ended up going. They went, I think, 07 after that. I was with him in '05.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After with the Cavs, I ended up signing the next year with Detroit. I ended up signing with
Mhm.
Detroit. And then we lose to the Cavs in the playoffs. That's when Brian went crazy on us. And I was on that Detroit team with Brian.
Yo, you was on that team when he scored like 30 in a quarter?
He scored 29 of the last
Straight.
30, 25 in a row.
Damn. You was wearing number 6 at that moment.
Yep.
Remember you? Hey, Flip. I ain't gonna lie. I'm an old head dog, but I always have my eye on you, dog. Again, man. And anytime I get a chance, podcast, see you, man. It's always love, dog. I watch you, dog. You made Philadelphia proud. You made the old heads proud, dog. Like just watching you, man. You made us proud, man. So, and it ain't nothing like listening to peers. And I tell people all the time, all these fans and these people out here that got the criticism. Well, when you walk into a gym or you walk into your locker room, and I heard around the league, I was in it, and how they revered you and how they respected you, dog. Your name wasn't a name to be played with. No roster, no nothing. So you had a lot of respect from your peers, man. And I think that's the telltale of a person's career.
Appreciate that, bro. It all comes from you. Like I said, even when I was coming up watching y'all play, coming underneath y'all, and having a chance to watch y'all play, like J Law was our big homie from my hood. So, us watching y'all play together, even at Villanova at the time, and even when he was at Arlington and stuff like that. I used to always travel, and I used to always play up the age. So when I was 14, I was playing 18 under, playing unlimited and stuff like that, playing against the older guys in the city and stuff like that at a young age, and getting that type of experience underneath my belt, as far as quality and stuff like that, even at a young age, playing at 14, playing with grown men at the time. All that stuff plays a part to me making a chance, making my career as far as being professional, making it to the league and stuff like that. So I think all that plays a part.
Well. Enough of this NBA talk, because I want to mention you down 16th Street, 16th and Susquehanna. I want to get that in there before we get to the back end. But I just got some proud moments of you being down 16th, crossing up so and so, and dunking on quite a few people down there. Give me your experience from the city, because, like Al said, we was all proud that Flip made it, because you one of us. You a real live have not. You one of us from the John. So for you to get in there, we all appreciated that. But you would come home in the summertime and put your thing down. Give us some of that summertime experience down 16th Street.
Well, summertime, I was playing at 16th Street. I was a young boy. I was playing 16th Street from 14 to, I think, 18 and 19, something like that. This was before the leagues. And like the time, like I said, I told you, Sad was like uncle to me. Him and my brother was right hand man. After me playing with them for the 14 under down 33 and Diamond, then playing with them for a couple years, they invited me to play down 16th Street when I turned like 15 or 16, something like that. That's when I was playing with Toss It Up. My first team I played with down 16th Street was Toss It Up. Me having a chance to go down there and just be in that environment, that 16th Street environment was crazy. It was crazy. That atmosphere was crazy. So you already know you got to bring your game down there, because not, they're going to be in your ass in the crowd grinding you up. Just having a chance to go down there and play against some of the top players in the city at the moment, at the time, with that league being jumping, being the number one league in the city at the time, and brought everybody from all over the city, all different neighborhoods came down there, had a team, and playing against that, that allowed me to put my name. I get my name out there. People starting to get some recognition of who I was and understanding who I was by just playing down there. Even though I wasn't playing a lot, once I did get my chance to play, once I went to my own town, I started playing with Crosstown, where I grew up at, or Hart Champ. I started playing with them. And then I had a chance to really just like play my game, and I was getting all the minutes to start and being able to just go out there and play.
Mm-hmm. Y'all keep hyping up 16th Street and all that shit.
I mean, that's because you wasn't down there, man. You from up that way, man.
I played down there a few times.
You wasn't down there. You know what I mean?
It was all right.
What you say? You was up the water tower, water park? I don't know, somewhere up there.
Whoa. Water tower was all right. Finley, you know what I mean? But I like, so, go back and forth, but all that, man. I was everywhere, dog. No, you ain't gonna do that to me. But I asked you this, Flip, because I know my struggles, my challenges, and I be getting a little emotional and shit. But when the whistle blow, the lights go out in the gym, and this shit, they ain't answering the calls. Because I will say, I was a scout. I told Fatz this. I was a scout, and I'm in Toronto, and I'm like, think you might have been, your last team might have been Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Charlotte.
sure. And I'm like, and Toronto, we needed, it was like maybe it was like 2009, 2010, 2000,
Exactly.
2010.
2009, 2010 season. Yep.
And I'm like, dog, Flip Murray. And I'm like, wow, what's going on? Nobody had no answers. And I think the following year you might not have been on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what's going on? We should reach out to Flip Murray. And nobody had no answers. There was no reason why, because you were still playing at a high level. You was playing well. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why? And nobody can answer my questions, and nobody could push the button to try to see where you was at. What was going on? What was that transition? What you feel like what was going on there? Or that's just the politics of the NBA, or what you think happened?
It was politics, and I also suffered an injury. Actually, that year, the 2009-2010 year, I was playing with Charlotte, and I never got traded until Chicago, and played with Chicago with D. Rose and them that year.
Okay.
After that season was over with, I become a free agent. We go through a little lockout. At the time, we going through a lockout. That's when we was having the charity games, when we was playing against different cities and stuff like that. That's when LeBron and all them came down. We played them at Palestra and stuff like that. So that's that summer. We ended up going to D.C. We played against Durant. And the team that he put together, we played against a D.C. team. So we go play up in D.C. at some gym up there. And we actually playing against Durant. I drove to the basket and went to go try to dunk it on Durant, actually. And when I went to go try to dunk on him, he ended up fouling me and taking me out the air, and I fell on my hip. I ended up fracturing my hip. I never felt no pain like that before. It was crazy. I thought I was going to be able, you know how you fall, you think it's a hip point that's going to go away once you walk it off. So I tried to walk it off and go to the free throw line, shoot it, and it was like I couldn't even, like, it felt like my hip was actually separated from my, it was like separated. That's what it felt like. It felt like my leg was just dangling. So I was like, I subbed out, told him, sub me out, get our game. This was a Saturday night, and we in D.C. So I come back home Sunday. I go get an MRI Monday. They tell me that I fractured my hip, and I ended up breaking a little piece of my hip off from my bone, left side of my hip. So I had to rehab that. I was highly upset because, for one, I was in a free agent, and I know it was a contract year for me, and for me to get hurt right there, and I know I had a possibility that I was going to be out for a long time. This was probably going to be a chance that I probably not going to go back. Me being my 8th year in the league, me being I'm like 31, 32 at the time. And it's a serious injury right here. This is like a year out. So it took me, honestly, 2 years, to get all the way back from that injury, 2 years. And then when I came back from that, I put it out there with my agents. We were trying to see if we can get back. I went to the D League, and I'm playing in D League. This was before it was G League. It was called the D League. And I played with San Antonio team. I played with the Austin Toros. And we ended up winning it that year. That was 2012. That's when I came back. I wasn't even 100%. I probably was like 85% when I came back and played with them. So we ended up winning it. I ended up playing. Still was trying to get some calls to go back to the league. Didn't get none. All right, next option. All right, told my agent, all right, well, listen, let's find some options overseas. Let's see what we got overseas. Was able to get a contract to go overseas to play in Turkey. I played in Turkey for about 6 months. And then I ended up playing in Lebanon, and I played in Ukraine. So I went over there and played 4 years in the league. Went over and played 4 years international overseas after suffering that major injury. But that was like the key reason why I didn't get back into the league, because I suffered a major injury during that 2010 summer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you know this is check game, and you're a grown man, Flip, and it ain't no disrespect or nothing. I'm gonna ask you this anyway, because I'm an old head. Who the fuck told you to play in them games while you was a free agent, dog?
Me. That was all me. That was me. I ain't nobody else. It's just that the fact that it was just the opportunity to go
That's
better.
what it was.
Right. And then me personally, I should even knew better than even. I was actually cruising I wasn't even playing like that. I was cruising, but it just happened that one time I went to go up and I got took out the air, and ended up giving me a crazy injury. I fractured my hip, so they ended up pulling me out.
But I'll tell you a crazy story, dog. So I was a rookie. We had a lockout. Me, Cat, we was playing up in this joint up in Willow Grove,
Mm-hmm.
Crestmont.
Mm-hmm.
Cat had just got drafted. I was a free agent. Cap, that was the year 99, and I'm playing in the league. And I'm 23 years old now. I'm in a league, dog. And it's just different shit. But I'm in a warm-up line, me and Cat. All I hear is my name being yelled. Alvin, Catino, get over here. My pop walks in the gym talking about, you ain't playing nothing. He stopped me from playing, dog. Because I was a free agent. Cat on the joint, Dad, we just gonna shoot jump shots. We not playing for real, for real. Stop. Hey,
Right.
dog. It was like one of like them moments, dog, that means so much, dog, that impact our lives. And again, people think about being pros. We just want to hoop. But that professional life, man, it's a whole different level to it, like the understanding and like your responsibilities and just being held accountable. That's what I'm sitting there like, damn, dog. I wish I was with you in the car driving up to that motherfucker and be like, nah, dog, we ain't gonna do this one. Nah, this
Yeah, I
ain't
wish I would
not
have.
yet. You know what I mean? But it's all hindsight. We get that knowledge to somebody else. But again, it's like the conversation. I love these conversations, man, because it's therapy for me, man. Because Fatz will tell you, dog, I sat in the motherfucker crying, all that. Like when my time, when my knee injury and nobody was calling me and teams, they bought me out, they waived me, all that shit, dog, took my money. I was owed this amount of money and I only got this amount and all that. Like I went through a lot of dark times when it came down to like that end of the road, like injuries and teams not wanting you and all that type of shit, dog. Life hitting you. So I know it's a struggle, man. So like you always like that's a platform you always can holler at your old head, all that type of shit, dog. Even to the day I struggle with some shit. So I know those are tough times, man.
Yeah, it was.
So I wanted to talk to you about your Shaw Hall of Fame, right? They recently inducted you into the Hall of Fame down at Shaw.
Yes.
What was that like, man? I mean that was a big applause from my end when I seen it on social media or whatever channel I got to see it in. I was just proud of you and happy that this was happening for you because I really applaud your path to the pros and you being from where I'm from and happen to make it in that direction and for to get your shit retired down in college. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I actually jumped into the Hall of Fame for our conference, CIAA conference, in the 2016 year. They inducted me into that Hall of Fame. And just a couple months ago, I got inducted to Shaw University Hall of Fame. So I was happy for finally getting the recognition of the work that I did put in for the 2 years. Us bringing them their first CIAA championship, taking them first to a Final Four. That's the farthest they ever been. Bringing that into a university that's one of the longest running HBCUs in history, and us bringing in that championship for them and them to finally recognize the work that I really did put in, and for them to acknowledge that, it felt special. I had a chance to meet with a lot of alumni. I had a chance to meet with a lot of former Hall of Famers that's already in the Hall of Fame and things like that of that nature. So it was good. I had a chance to reconnect, do a little networking, and actually have a chance to actually make some moves happen in Shaw University. So I'll be looking forward to that.
You got anything, Al?
I need to know. And everybody, this is the hot topic, everybody. Like when you leave, your moment, you bumped into somebody's like, God damn, he nice. Like, yeah, I'm here. Like somebody that really gave you that, like one of the players that you was like, yeah, I seen him, I heard about him, but he the real deal. Who was that?
As far as playing against him, or like
playing against him, or practice on your team.
Somebody that was like, oh God.
Don't give me this Philly cool shit.
No.
Everybody from Philly, everybody, he ain't shit. He ain't playing down 16th Street.
I ain't even gonna lie, I on some real shit. I never was on that town with people. I really didn't give a fuck about people for real, bro. I ain't care who was out there for real. But when I really did get out there and played against somebody, was like, yo, oh, he tough. It's the guys that was like really that was like that. Like AI, Kobe, I was guarding Kobe one time. He hit me with one spin move and shit. He spun on me so quick. I didn't know what the fuck happened. I mean, but it was like a lot of guys that was like that wasn't even big names and stuff like that. When I played against them, and they was tough. Let me think of something. It was, God damn, you just made me go back. Oh shit! I have to go with who I think was probably somebody I played against like all the time that was tough. That's probably Tucker's gonna be mine. That's like one person when I played against him, I was like, God damn, I really got laid. So I'm about to really play against AI. And I know my assignment was my scouting part was to guard him. I got to guard this nigga. So you know me, I was a big film watcher. I was a big film watcher. I used to always watch people game and study people game. And my thing was with him, I'm never letting him go right. I don't give a fuck what happens. He cross shit at me. He's never going right on me. I'm gonna try to force him left as many times as possible. And then when I finally got out there, this motherfucker just kept going to his right, getting to his right hand. Even though I was trying to force him and make him go to the left. Yeah, he was different. Like he was different type of speed, and his change of direction was crazy. So you always had to be like, on your toes when you was guarding him, and always be aware of something that he might try to hit you with. So he's probably going to be the top of my list for sure. I'm gonna have to go with AI
I
for
think
sure.
because I remember my first practice, dog, in Portland. I got drafted by Portland, and I was playing against J.R. Ryder, dog. And I never felt another man so strong in my life. It wasn't even, we didn't even get to the game part. He ain't scoring me one time yet. But the physicality, the boy, like, it felt like I got jumped, dog. It felt like I got jumped. He was bodying me, I was posting me up. I said, damn, man. Like, I was like, yeah, this is different. This is different. And that Portland team, I ain't gonna. They wasn't coming to practice like they was ready to practice. They come to practice like we was coming from a club, dog. They just nonchalant, and I just like, damn, man. I'm in that thing stretching, running laps, trying to get warmed up. J.R. Ryder was the first dude for me. I was like, damn, man. And then Kenny
I'm gonna
Anderson
say
just
one
showed me
more,
something
please.
different.
One more person
Who you
like
got?
that I realized I didn't know he was like that. You brought that to my attention. I did not know he was like that until I started playing against him in practice against him every day, and that was Michael Redd when I was at Milwaukee. Michael Redd was
Mike Redd.
tough. Michael
Shout
Redd
out
was
to
tough.
Michael
Michael
Redd.
Redd was tough.
Tough.
Yeah, Mike Redd. That was another one of my vets that was there. Well, he wasn't really a vet. He was only a couple years into when I was there, but
Yeah.
he was already there prior to me getting there. But Michael Redd was tough. Michael Redd could play.
Left hand.
Tough, yeah.
Shout
He
out
was
to
tough.
Michael Redd,
Michael
dog.
Redd,
Like,
for sure.
Mike Redd was tough, dog.
So
yeah, nah.
So
sure.
I got one before you go, Flip, if you don't mind. What was that experience like with LeBron in the gym? Is he a workaholic? What was he approaching the game and the path that how did you see him perform when you had the chance to sit with Bron?
When I played with Brian, that was like, you got to think, that was in like his third year in the league, probably probably third year in the league. So he was still, he was still young. So he was still, getting the feel, not getting the feel of thing, but he's still trying to adapt into being a superstar that he was. So he still had the young tendencies and stuff like that in him. But he was cool. Everybody was cool in that locker room. Like he was never used to be on no, especially not with me, not on no big head shit and nothing like that. He always kept shit thorough. He always kept shit. His whole squad, all of them, Rich, Mav, all of them. All of them was thorough for real. When I was in Cleveland, all of them kept it thorough for real. Everything with him, he was cool. He approached everything how he's supposed to approach as far as being professional, coming to the gym, putting the work in, staying in late, getting there early, et cetera, et cetera. He definitely was putting the work in.
Anything you got, Al?
No, what's next?
Anything
you what you got going on? What you got going on now, Flip?
Right now, finishing my degree. When I went down Shaw University, I was able to get back enrolled to Shaw University to finish my degree. I need 20 more hours to finish my degree. I will be starting up in January. Hopefully, I'll have that by December. I'm in talks with them as far as once I get my degree going down there and coach with them. But I also will be starting my own 17U. I will be starting my own 17U AAU squad this year. I have my own young boy squad this year. My first time coaching in the AAU circuit. So I'll be in the NBA. I mean, I'll be in the New Balance circuit this year with my 17U team. So I'm excited for that. I'm actually going to go check out some games this week to try to do some recruitment, some scouting at some high schools to go look at some games, try to see if I can find me some dogs out here.
Based out of Philly?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. No, that's dope, man. That's dope, man. All about the congratulations with that, man. And any support that we can give on that side, man, you already know we here for it, dog. So on my end too, man. So I'm always here. So any support that we can give, never hesitate to reach out, man. And I'll be reaching out too.
I'll make sure
Yeah.
I'm grabbing math.
Yeah, much love, Flip. Check game. Appreciate having you here. Is there anything you want to say before we close this session out?
I love what you guys doing. I love that you guys started your own thing. This was in the making. Y'all just didn't know it coming. Nice to see you guys all together. always be together. Even we used to come play on Toronto. I just see Fatz out there. I jump in the club, see Fatz out there in Toronto. When I had to come out there and play against y'all and stuff like that. So once he hit me up and told me that, that y'all want to have me on this platform, man, it was a no-brainer. I was going to show up. So I just want to thank y'all for having me out here and giving me a platform where I can put my story out there so people can really understand and hear my side of the story from my experience in playing in the NBA, et cetera, coming from Philadelphia.
Definitely from me, it's a big thanks, homie. You my guy. Al, what you got before we get out of here?
That's it, man. I appreciate you, man. It's an honor to be here with you, man. Still being able to communicate, give you your flowers, man. And again, I'd love to have you on again, man, because it's an NBA story, and then it's a story after the NBA, dog. And me and you both know what that story is, and it's a story to be told. A lot of these young people, a lot of these families, a lot of these parents, a lot of these coaches, they only see it as a transactional thing. They see what they can get for the now, but it's a lot of things that we carry on our shoulders that people don't understand and people don't recognize unless you're close to us. And it ain't too many people we're going to share that story with. I just became vulnerable enough. I just became vulnerable enough to share with everybody, man, and let them know my struggles and my shortcomings and shit like that, from relationships to parenting to finances to health to all that shit, man. And it's things that we got to deal with. And, you know what I mean? Creating that community where we can lean on each other, man. That's a big part. That's all I be trying to do at times. So yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming on, man, and sharing your story.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, Flip. We're definitely gonna have you on our sports show, Check Game Sports. We need you on there. We'll try to get you on the sports show soon too, man.
Yeah, Fatz needed. You say you watch film. He needs some help because I'm about to start grinding him up. He talking about Westbrook ain't this and this and that and all that. So we need you on that, Don, for sure.
All right, Flip. Check Game, man. We holler at you, dog.
My God, love y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, same. Much love, Flip.
You too.